Welcome to Crafting with C. I am Sierra, and today I am going to show you how to press Printable HTV onto a dark shirt. So I've got a few t-shirts that were requested for a logo, and they wanted its specific shirt and specific details on the logo, and because I am not sublimating yet, I am using Printable HTV. This is what the image looks like, and I used, trying to grab it here. Ooh. They're actually called 3G Jet Opaque, and these are the printable transfers for dark shirts. There's two different types. There's light and there's dark. I am using for the dark because they wanted a black shirt. Totally fine. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how to do this process. In order to print these, you do not mirror them. For the dark transfers, you do not mirror. For light transfers, you mirror. For dark, you do not mirror. Dark, don't mirror. See? D-D-M. Dark, don't mirror. Just remember that. So it is not mirrored, and this is how it's going to look on the shirt. So the difference between light and dark is for the light, you would mirror your image, press it onto the shirt just like this, and then peel away the backing. This is a lot different. So for these, you are going to peel this off. I've already peeled off all the excess around it, but you're going to peel off this, place it onto your shirt. I'm going to use heat resistant tape to get it in place where I want it. That way it stays in place when I move it from one area of the room to the other area where the press is. And then we will use the transfer paper that they sent with it. So it came with, you can probably just use butcher paper, but this came with this sheet, so why not use it, right? Just a sheet of butcher paper, that's all. And this actually came with some detailed instructions here, and it says print right reading image on the coated side of the paper, do not mirror, trim away unprinted paper around the image if desired, slowly peel the paper backing from the transfer film, starting with a small tear in the corner to make separating easier. To transfer, it says place transfer on top of the garment with the image side up. So image side up. And then covered with a pressing sheet. Press for 30 seconds at 350 degrees. I need to up the temperature on my press. Remove the paper when cool. Hand iron instructions are on the next page. It does give you hand iron instructions. I won't use those because I'll be using my heat press, which I'm going to go turn up in just a moment. Over there. I'll show you what I'm doing. Hold on. So while I'm prepping my shirt, I'm going to let this heat up to 350. Oops. 350. It's set for 350 at 30 seconds. And I've got you on this little bitty tripod because I'm going to point you directly down at the shirt so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to lay my shirt out. What you're going to need is your shirt. I'm using an Anvil Lightweight by Glidden 100% cotton shirt. I'm going to move a few things around over here so that I can move you and point you downwards here. So there you go. And there you go, so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. So first I'm going to shake off my shirt. And then they wanted a front decal and a sleeve decal. So first we're going to do the front. And make sure there's no lint fuzzies or anything on it like that. Whoops. Try not to take down the mini trash can while we're at it. All right, and it's going to go on the right sleeve. But first, I'm going to do a quick press to get my middle line. Should have done that a minute ago. Sorry. So working with this is much trickier than just your regular HTV, and I feel weird because you're looking down and not at me. Hi, if you're on, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're there, say hi. Say hi. I'd love to see you. If you have questions, feel free to jump in and ask as well. I have enabled Super Chat so that you know if you'd like to help a fellow crafter out. That'd be fabulous. If not, you can help me out by watching and subscribing and liking my videos. Those are all free things to do. All right, so shaking it out because I keep getting this weird wrinkle in the middle. So trying to get rid of that. There we go. Right down the middle here. Gonna pre-press real quick. Boop. Just a quick, hi, I'm still here. I didn't run away. quick pre-press. Pre-pressing gets rid of all of the moisture in the shirt, and it also gives you a beautiful center line. There we go. Now I know where I want to press. And I'm going to go ahead and point you back down. So pressing on dark fabric with print van cut paper. Printable HTV is what that is. All right, so there's my shirt, and you can clearly see the middle line here, and I know where I'm going to go. So I've got my decal, and I've got some scissors, and I have my heat-resistant tape, scissors. So now for the fun and tricky part. I've always done like one single image of these, so I've never done one that isn't completely stuck together. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to start with the biggest one first. Peel that up. You want to peel these kind of gently. I've noticed that they do tear just a smidge if you are too quick with it. So gently. For these, slow and steady wins the race. I know, trust me, when I first did this, I kind of like was super nervous and I thought that there's no way that this is going to work. But it does. Just have faith. This is not my favorite method of doing this. I would much rather sublimate, but I am not there yet. That is what I am working towards. Hopefully very, very soon. Come on. As you can see, this is a very gentle process. Don't want to rush it. And it's coming up in like weird sections. Ooh. There we go. So I've got this piece. GWS will be easy. So, and then this helps because it cut weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these little things that came with my Cricut. These little trimmer things. And I'm just going to cut these like weird pieces off. Because I don't like how they look. Go. It's just the way that the Cricut decided to cut it. Shouldn't have happened, but it did, and now we fix it. That way, it doesn't press onto it. There we go. It's much better. Now let's make it straight and centered-ish. I am just eyeballing it. That's just how I roll. If you want to measure, you can totally do so. I don't. Never really have. I am following someone's advice with this whole pointing the camera at what I'm doing. If you don't like it and you would rather see my face, let me know. All right, so I have this other image here to show me kind of where it was, which is fabulous. Looks about right to me. Here we go. It's trash. All right, so the only part that makes me kind of nervous about using the tape is if it's going to peel the ink up. But here's to hoping it doesn't. Go. I'm gonna put it in some inconspicuous places. If I can find the end. So. And I'm only going to use teeny pieces. Just enough to get it to stay in place. Because even as my fingers touch it, it moves. See that? You barely touch it and it like shifts. Hi, if you're on, say hi. Say hi. I can see you even though you can't see me. I promise. Welcome. We are pressing a Printable HTV on a dark shirt. Okay, so I'm not going to do any more than that. And I think that my press is ready to go. I am going to take the lint roller over it one more time because there were a few pieces of that ink that decided to wander off and I don't want it to mess it up. So I'm going to carry you over to the press and we're going to go press. All right, there we go. There is my press plate. I'm going to move you up so you can see. There's the press plate. Voila. Voila. Now I'm going to carefully, oh, it fell. See? Whew. This is when having a slider press would be way more helpful. But I don't have that anymore. I have the swing away one. It's just very big, so I try not to use it. It doesn't look like it moved too much, but I do want to kind of make sure that it's on there. Oh, that's not the right paper. Press paper. You can see as it goes under the heat, it's kind of like curling up a little bit. I've only used this type of transfer once, this paper, once before. So you're learning with me, guys. How exciting is that? All right, so we're going to put this right on top. And then I'm just going to kind of like look, make sure it looks straight, which I'm glad I did because this part is not straight. There we go. Looks a little better. Gonna do it again. It keeps shifting on me. I don't like it. All right. Moment of truth. Are we ready? We are at 350, and I'm gonna put this on top of it because it is a black shirt. Make sure that I didn't move anything in the process of doing that. Okay. Now ready? And we press. Now we wait 30 seconds, and in this 30 seconds, I have a little chat with you while you're staring at my press about subscribing to my channel and saying hi. So super chats, if you're not familiar with what they are just like, you can donate to me through a chat, which is fabulous if you want to help a small business grow without having to buy a purchase or a product. Another way you can support me is by doing what you're doing right now, watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. Yes, that just shook you. I'm sorry. Moment of truth here, guys. Did it press or did it bust? Or did it stick to the transfer paper? Nope, it is on there. It's on like Donkey Kong. Now, this is the real moment of truth for me. Did this heat-resistant tape stick to the ink? It stuck to the shirt, that's for sure. It did not! How fabulous! Great success, my friends. Great, great success. Now, if I can get the other piece of paper off, tape off. All right, it's on there. Now to do the sleeve. I normally do the sleeve on my hat press, but I'm going to do it on the right sleeve. And how we're going to do that is you take it, you see the bottom seam there? That's where the armpit is. You want that right in the middle of your sleeve. And that's kind of about where I've got it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here. Kind of give it a quick press to create that flat surface. This is where I usually have tape or magnets or clamps to hold it down so I don't burn myself. But I don't have any of those things, so I'm just going to hold it right there. Use this because I don't have the capacity. Give it a quick pre-press. We have a flat surface to work on. And then put the shirt to the side. There we go. There we go. And I already have the center line as far as where the middle is on this because I pressed the sleeve beforehand the other way, so it's right in the middle. Plus that seam in the middle kind of helps a little bit. I usually use the hat press, but I don't have that press heated up. It's this one because you just slide the sleeve on here and it's super easy, but I don't have that one heated up and I can't run two presses at once. Same thing here. I have my design and I have scissors and transfer tape or resistance tape. I guess the other method of doing this would be to use some of your old HTV transfer sheets, like the masks, and do it that way, which would be super helpful, but I don't have any of those. So what I'm going to do is, remember how the GWS was separated before? I'm just going to put that tape on there right now to avoid that from separating again. Then I'm going to peel it up. See, you learn with me. We learn together. And if you have any advice on this, feel free to drop a line. Be happy to listen and learn and then teach. That's what I do. You got to be gentle with this process. I can tell you that much. Oh, don't know if my taping was the best idea. I kind of just folded a piece of it, but I'm gonna fix it. There we go. This is a lot trickier than it looks, guys. Peeling this dang thing off without ripping it all to shreds. But I do like peeling it off because there were a few pieces of that ink or the transfer that I just left there that I didn't know was still there. It's hot by this press, by the way. All right, there we go. So I folded a little bitty part of this. Here we go, fixed. Voila. So got the middle line there. Oop, don't want to press it on that. So when pressing on the sleeve, you want to make sure that you're not on the seam, but you're not too far off of the seam. And that it's straight. Seems to be the problem that I'm having because it seems to be melting under the press. It's a really good thing I've got an eyeball for this stuff, because if not, it'd be all over the place. That part's good. The house is already melting, so I can't tell if it's straight. Noted, guys. I don't recommend doing this under the heat press. It's not melting, it's just getting really soft. And the tape is causing it to become uneven, so. Ah! Son of a biscuit. My hands are like all over the place tonight. They are not steady. And normally they're very steady. This S just keeps wanting to go downward. I think I'm going to tape that guy down. It's because of the seam over here in the middle of the sleeve. It keeps pushing it downward. And because of that, it's not straight. Me and my perfectionism ways. Not happy with that. There we go. So if you can see it, it's on there. It's fairly straight. Ready to be pressed. So and give it another little pat down here. Little bit of love. The butcher sheet. The Teflon sheet. And then we press. And cross your fingers without touching your press. Hi. If you've been on the whole time, hi, I love you, and thank you for watching. Give me a like. I love doing these tutorials for you, and I hope that they're super helpful. I know that when I first started, I could have used somebody to help me do this because I had no idea what I was doing. I thought light and dark printable HTV was all the same, and you had to do the mirroring, and I learned the hard way that that's not the case, and it was just a big shite show. I don't know who's watching or if children are watching, so I will watch my language. All right, so now I'm going to show you another trick, so you are in luck, my friends. We have a little bit of scorch marks on the sleeve here, and I'm going to show you what I do to get rid of those. Scorch marks are just, I normally get them when I have a crease on something that I'm working on, i.e. this shirt sleeve had a crease, and now there's scorch marks from said crease. And I'm not happy with that, so got to get rid of them. Now these are just like HTV. You want to make sure that you can see the lines inside, the fabric lines inside of the transfer. And I clearly can. It feels very soft. It feels like it's in there. And I can clearly see all of the lines, and I can't take my finger across it to scrape it off. So go ahead, turn my press off. Bring you back over here. If I don't turn my press off now, I won't remember. And then I'm going to show you how I get rid of the scorch marks. It's a super, super, super simple trick. So I'm going to turn you over here because I don't want you to see my dirty, dirty laundry room. Yes, that is where I craft. I craft in my laundry room. Because it has this giant folding table, and homegirl don't fold. Let's just be honest. I don't fold. I don't iron either unless I use my press. So don't know if you can clearly see the scorch marks very well. They're not very deep at all, but right there. You see that right there? That is a scorch mark. Right there. That one's a little easier to see. So what I take, you have two options. You can take a dryer sheet, which works really, really well. I have no idea. Don't ask me why these things work, but they do. Or you can take a sock. Dryer sheet or sock will fix your scorch marks. Give me 1 second. Let me get my dryer sheet. I'm in the laundry room, so it won't take me very long. This is the only time I use a dryer sheet for any of my materials that I craft with. Because if you pre-wash and pre-dry your shirts, with a dryer sheet or fabric softener in there, it's going to mess up your transfer process. It will either make the HTV not stick, or it'll make it stick for this time, but then when the customer goes to wash it with their washer and fabric softener and everything, because they will. Doesn't matter if you tell them not to. It doesn't matter if you put it on the care instructions. If they are like me, someone who doesn't fold laundry, they don't care. They're not going to put their shirts, their handmade shirts or custom shirts into a different load of laundry. I personally don't have time for that, nor do I care enough. I love my products. I love my shirts, but it ain't gonna work. So I never pre-wash my shirts to begin with. I don't dry them unless they get to me and they either are very moist. I hate that word. It's disgusting. Or they are super duper wrinkly. Outside of that, I won't wash. I won't dry. I leave them as is. That's why I pre-press. Long story short, you don't have to pre-wash. You don't have to pre-dry. As long as you're getting cotton and it says pre-shrunk. That's all I got. So, dryer sheet, scorch marks. See right there? Can you see them? Kind of looks like a butt crack. I got some humor there for you. Kind of looks like a T, or if you're silly like me, it looks like a butt crack. So you just take it like so, not over the decal. Do not get it over the decal. Same reasoning. If you get a little on there, it's not a big deal, but kind of try to go with the thread lines. And most of the time it works really well and it smells good. But you just kind of ball it up. You can't see. And you just go over it. And it does leave it a little white, a little stuff on there, but I'll show you how to get that off too. Old towel or sock will get all that off. I don't know why this works. I don't. I really have no answer for you. But I think reason being is because when you scorch the fabric, it's because it's being overpressed or over squished, melted, basically. It works better if it's not on my hand. And when you use a fabric softener, it's fabric softener. I'll soften up that fabric again. Now, when the customer goes to wash it, this will rinse right out and that scorch mark will be gonzo. Usually doesn't take this long. I think it's the type of shirt. I usually just use glidden shirts. I don't use these lightweight shirts. It's coming out though. All right, so now I've got no scorch marks, but I do have this white residue. Is it fixed? Uno momento. You can use a dish towel or you can use a sock. I use sock because it's easy to put my hand inside. Yes, it's a clean sock, don't worry. And you just do the same thing. Just wipe the residue off. And then you should have a scorch-free and residue-free material. Again, going with the stitching of the shirt. So no going like this or like this. You just go up and down, left and right. And voila. How beautiful is that, my friends? There's no more scorch marks. There's a little lint on it from the sock, but I can easily fix that. See? There you go. No more scorch marks. All right, that is how you press Printable HTV for dark fabrics. Now it does feel like it's a little vinyl-y, but it's nowhere near as thick as regular vinyl. It does stretch a little bit more than regular vinyl, so you want to be careful and send specific care instructions to cover your arse. If you don't send them special instructions stating do not iron, do not use fabric softener, do not do this, do not do that, all the normal care instructions that you're supposed to send with it, they can come after you and try to get a new shirt because they did something and you didn't tell them not to specifically on a piece of paper and include it into their package. Trust me, just do it. I am friends with this person, so I can just message her and say, hey, can't do this, can't do that. Don't use an iron on the transfer specifically. It's golden outside of that. All right, so that was all I wanted to do for you. I wanted to do it in under 30 minutes, but we had a little bit of technical difficulty, so I'll take 31 minutes and I'll move on. I hope you have a fabulous night, and until next time, peace out, happy crafters. We'll see you later.